I'm here with St. Martin's head coach Aaron Landon. First round West Regional overtime loss to fifth seeded Academy of Art. Coach, great game from you guys. A lot of hard work and effort from you. Just give me some of your thoughts on the game overall.
Yeah, just to credit Academy of Art and their coaching staff. I think Scott Waterman's one of the best coaches, and he's young, so great young coach, just in the West region. So I love our group. Just a kind of a devastating loss. Felt like we had a bunch of opportunities at the end, and our guys will sort of probably wear those, whether it's a missed block out or a missed free throw. The players it'll stick with them, but in reality, I need to shoulder the blame. If you look at 38-point first half, 44-point second half, I just didn't have us defensively in a position to be successful. So players, you're emotional, you get wrapped up in those final plays a little bit too much, but the truth is it's the accumulation of plays throughout the game, and as a head coach, you got to take ownership over that.
Yeah. Well, you had a great run there at the end of the first half. You're down 25-34. You went on a 14-4 run to take a 1-point lead into the half. What did you see from your team there going into the break that you liked?
I just thought we were out of sorts in the beginning of the game. We didn't do a good job defensively in transition. So like the first 5 seconds of the shot clock, we just did a poor job of just getting back. It wasn't like we were losing track of shooters. We just didn't protect the paint in transition. Once we were able to sort of get out and get assigned defensively and figure out a way to get a couple of rebounds and run, we were able to find some of the transition threes, and we were able to kind of build an advantage because they stick to the ball quite a bit in their press, and just kind of picking up full court. So we started to find those looks, kind of manufacture that runoff shot making. Over the course of the game, you can kind of sustain a run if you're building it through defensive stops. But ours was sort of temporary and short-lived because it was so attached to the three-point line, which is something we do well, but it's not enough to sustain.
Well, then you went and you had a strong start of the second half. And maybe you say you didn't like what you saw at the start of the first half, but to start the second half, had a good run there. You developed as many as an 8-point lead. What did you see out of your group there after halftime?
Just resilience, and they were sort of adapting to the game. Thought they did a good job of that. Academy of Art's really tough to play against because you can't just diagram and structure everything out. They switch everything quite a bit, and they get up in the lanes, and they jam you up when you want to reverse the ball or make a pass. And so a lot of that is sort of unscripted. So I thought our guys started to settle into the game, and we were making plays, but you get up 8, it goes down to 6, and you're up 6, and it goes down to 3, and so I thought we lost track of a couple shooters, just weren't able to get out on the ball. I won't get into a bunch of boring X's and O's, but our zone assignments in our zone broke down quite a bit, and I thought that was where they built a lot of their momentum. I think when we were up 8, there was a couple big threes that they had against the zone. When I thought that overall, our coverage was pretty good, but that's how fragile leads are. So,
well, you had 5 guys scoring double figures, led by number 5 Kyle Greeley had 27. What did you see from him tonight?
He's whoever's watching this, if they care, we've had a bunch of injuries and things going on, and today he basically offered to come off the bench. We didn't have our starting point guard, who's in our conference, an all-conference player, Jake Nielsen-Skinner, and we didn't know if we were going to have him back. So he got one practice under his belt. Kyle did a pretty good job in our conference tournament, and he's done a good job all year. He's an all-conference player, and so to help Jaden Nielsen-Skinner out, it's important for a point guard to get into the flow of the game. It's also important, I think, for any injured player that's coming back to sort of get out on the floor and get bumped and play through some contact and figure out that everything's going to be all right. Or if not, we get them a sub and check in with them. So when we talked about that plan, Kyle told, we sort of let him and Tyke talk about it, similar positions, and Kyle offered to come off the bench. And I just know it has nothing to do with the 27, and Kyle's beating himself up, over plays he'd like to have back. a cool thing for an all-conference player to offer to come off the bench. Just think that says a lot about who he is as a person and how he was raised.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's got to say a lot about the culture as well that you developed with this group. I mean, as you look back on the year, regular season GNAC champions, just give me a few kind of summarizing thoughts of the year as a whole.
I mean, we were really consistent, so this thing it stings so bad right now. But you know, the reality is we're one of the best teams in the country. We've been ranked in the top 25, you know, pretty much the entire year. And we took on a gruesome non-conference schedule. You know, we come out and we play the teams that are in this tournament, not just because we got teams from our conference that are in this tournament. You know, we played Academy of Art. We have a home and home with them that's going to return every year. You know, we played Cal State San Marcos that first weekend, and so, you know, to finish out the regular season, well, I think we were 23-5, 23-5 and 15-3 in the GNAC. We traveled to Hawaii. We played national teams, and those games don't matter in the region, but they matter to a team that's trying to get better. And so that's the story. You know, we want to, you know, have enough humility to understand, you know, we're not where we need to be to come and win a big regional game, but we've won the GNAC regular season title 2 years in a row now, and we return the core of our team next year. And so, you know, the trajectory of the program, it looks pretty good, you know, at least on our campus. And I just, you know, we only lose, when I say we return our core, you know, we only lose a couple players that are in our rotation, but those guys are extremely valuable. I love them to death, and I just apologize to them. I wish we could have had a few more days together.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a very successful season, and we look forward to seeing you back next year.
Thank you.